A black attorney in her mid-30s stands before Judge Caprio, facing 11 traffic citations within just 6 months. Same car. Same neighborhood. Same officer. Judge Caprio studies the file and his tone shifts from routine to deeply concerned. Miss Richardson, this is excessive. Can you explain what's going on? Her reply, just 3 words, silences the courtroom. I drive while black. From that moment, the case stops being about traffic tickets. It becomes about a pattern, clear, recorded, and impossible to dismiss. Even the prosecutor struggles to justify. Judge Caprio recognizes it instantly. His next words turn this hearing into one of the most defining moments in his courtroom's history. Stay until the end, because what happens next reveals what most courts overlook. It shows how evidence and consistency can expose bias and inequality, proving that documentation is the most powerful defense against discrimination. Comment your city below and subscribe, because stories like this matter everywhere. Tuesday, 3:20 p.m. and the bailiff calls, Case 10-483, Vanessa Richardson, multiple traffic violations. A composed black woman approaches the bench, professional, in a blazer and slacks carrying a leather briefcase. She's a real estate attorney, working downtown, driving a modest Honda Accord. Nothing extravagant, nothing suspicious. Judge Caprio flips through the thick file, pauses, counts the pages again. His eyebrows lift in disbelief. Miss Richardson, he begins. I drive while black. Richardson, Judge Caprio says, scanning the file. I'm seeing 11 separate traffic stops here, all within 6 months. Broken taillight, failure to signal, window tint too dark, expired registration, license suspension check, and 3 additional minor violations. He looks up from the paperwork, eyes narrowing slightly. This is unusual. Very unusual. Vanessa's tone is steady but weary. Your Honor, I know how it looks, but I'm not a careless driver. I obey every traffic rule carefully. Still, I've been pulled over 11 times in 6 months, and that's nearly twice a month. Caprio nods slowly. 11 times. That's correct? Yes, Your Honor. The judge reviews the documents again. Ms. Richardson, something stands out. All 11 stops were by the same officer, Sergeant Michael Donovan. Every single one? Yes, Your Honor. Every time. And all in the same area. The East Side corridor between downtown and the residential neighborhoods? That's right. It's my daily commute. I live on the East Side and work downtown. Caprio's expression tightens. He's beginning to connect the dots. Ms. Richardson, tell me what usually happens during these stops. Start with the most recent one. Vanessa exhales softly. It was around 5:30 p.m. I was driving home from work. Video 1, brake lights working. Traffic was moderate. I signaled every turn, maintained the speed limit, and made full stops at every sign. Sergeant Donovan pulled me over, claiming my brake light wasn't working. Was it actually out? No, Your Honor. I stepped out immediately to check. Both lights were functioning perfectly. I even recorded it on my phone. You recorded it? Yes, Your Honor. After the 7th traffic stop, I started filming everything because no one seemed to believe me. That statement catches Judge Caprio's full attention. You have video proof? Yes, Your Honor. 4 separate recordings. May I present them? The bailiff prepares the courtroom monitor. Vanessa connects her phone and the first video begins to play. Dash cam footage shows her driving at dusk. Calm, careful, signaling properly, obeying every traffic rule. Moments later, red and blue lights appear behind her. She pulls over smoothly. Video 2. She did signal. Sergeant Donovan, a white male in his late 40s, approaches her car. His voice is clear in the recording. License and registration. You know why I stopped you? Vanessa answers politely. No, officer, I don't. Your brake light's out. It's a safety issue. Officer, I checked them this morning. May I step out and confirm? Stay in the car, ma'am. He walks to the back of the vehicle. On video, both brake lights glow brightly as Vanessa presses the pedal. Donovan clearly notices it before returning to her window. Your registration's expired. Officer, it's valid through December. She shows him the up-to-date paperwork. Officer's false claims exposed. The camera focuses on the sticker, clearly visible. A long pause follows as Sergeant Donovan studies her silently. Sit tight, he says before walking back to his patrol car. 15 minutes pass. Vanessa remains composed, recording the entire encounter. Finally, he returns, I'm issuing a warning. Drive carefully, no explanation, no apology. Judge Caprio watches the footage in silence. The courtroom is completely still. Vanessa plays a second video. Different day, same officer, same routine. This time, the supposed offense is failure to signal, though the video clearly shows her using her blinker. Another delay. Another warning. Then comes the spreadsheet evidence. A third video, this time for window. Tint too dark. But Vanessa's car has no tint, just factory glass. Fourth video follows. Suspicious driving. Pattern. Yet again, she's simply driving to work as usual. Judge Caprio stops the playback. His face shows a rare mix of anger and disappointment. Ms. Richardson, how long do these stops usually last? Between 10 and 25 minutes. Your Honor, I've been late to work, late picking up my daughter from school, late to client meetings. And out of 11 stops, the judge continues, how many actual citations were issued? 3, Your Honor. The rest ended as warnings once he couldn't find any violations. The 3 citations that were issued, what were they for? Vanessa looks down at her notes. 1 for registration, allegedly. White colleagues, 0 stops, expired. It wasn't broken tail light. It worked. Failure to signal? I did. All 3 tickets, I'm contesting because they're false. Judge Caprio turns toward the prosecutor. Counselor, are you seeing what I'm seeing? The prosecutor shifts uncomfortably. Your Honor, I'll need to review the footage and officers' reports in detail. You do that, Judge Caprio replies, because from where I'm sitting, this looks like targeted harassment. Subscribe now if you believe patterns prove what words can't. But Judge Caprio isn't done. Ms. Richardson, let me ask you something directly. In your professional opinion, and as an attorney you understand legal standards, do you believe these stops are racially motivated? The courtroom tenses. It's the question everyone's been thinking but rarely hears asked in open court. Vanessa's voice is calm but unwavering. Your Honor, I can't know what's in Sergeant Donovan's mind, but I can tell you facts. I'm a black woman driving a modest car through a mostly white neighborhood on my way home. I've been stopped 11 times in 6 months, all by the same white officer. Each time the claims are false or exaggerated. Each stop lasts between 15 and 25 minutes, and every single one happens during my usual commute while I'm following every traffic law. Meanwhile, my white colleagues who live in the same neighborhood, drive the same route, have never been stopped once. I ask them. Judge Caprio nods slowly. You've documented this? Yes, Your Honor. I surveyed 15 colleagues, 9 white, 6 people of color. The white colleagues, 0 stops in the past year. The colleagues of color, 23. All citations dismissed. Miss Richardson stands composed, presenting a neatly organized spreadsheet, precise, professional, and impossible to dispute. Judge Caprio, Miss Richardson, this is remarkable documentation. Miss Richardson, Your Honor, I'm an attorney. I know that without evidence it's just my word against his. So I gathered everything, videos, dates, timestamps, GPS data showing my exact speed and route, witness statements, and comparison records because I knew people might doubt me otherwise. An older black man in the gallery raises his hand. Judge Caprio gives a nod. The man stands, his voice trembling with emotion. Marcus Webb. Your Honor, my name is Marcus Webb. I've lived on the East Side for 40 years. What this young lady described, I've gone through that my whole life. Getting pulled over for driving while black isn't new. It's just rarely documented this clearly. A white woman in her 50s rises next. Patricia Chen. Your Honor, I'm Patricia Chen, Miss Richardson's colleague at the law firm. I drive the same road at the same time every day. I've never been stopped, not once. When Vanessa told me she'd been pulled over 11 times, I didn't believe her until she showed me the proof. It's real and it's wrong. Judge Caprio turns back to the prosecutor. Judge Caprio. Counselor, I'm dismissing all 3 citations against Ms. Richardson. There's not enough evidence to justify any of them. And the repeated stops indicate a deeper issue beyond ordinary traffic enforcement. But I'm not ending it here. I want a full review. Sergeant Donovan's traffic stop records for the past year, complete with demographic data. Internal Affairs is to investigate immediately. The prosecutor nods firmly. Prosecutor. Yes, Your Honor. I'll make that request right away. Judge Caprio delivers his ruling with unmistakable conviction. Judge Caprio, Ms. Richardson, all citations are dismissed. You owe nothing. But this pattern won't be ignored any longer. Officer barred from stopping her. Most importantly, Judge Caprio begins. I'm issuing a court order. He types as he speaks. First, Sergeant Donovan is prohibited from initiating any future traffic stops involving you specifically. If he attempts to pull you over again, you are to contact my chambers immediately. Second, I'm requesting the Providence Police Department submit complete traffic stop records for Sergeant Donovan, covering the past 2 years. I want to determine whether this conduct extends to other motorists. Third, I'm forwarding your evidence to the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. What you've presented today indicates a potential pattern of biased enforcement that may violate federal law. Vanessa's eyes well with tears. Your Honor, thank you. I just wanted someone to listen. Miss Richardson, Judge Caprio replies, you did far more than that. You gathered facts. You created an indisputable record. You proved what many have only suspected. 3 weeks later, investigation results. There are experiences people live through but struggle to prove. Doing so takes both courage and intelligence. Judge Caprio's tone grows firm. Let me make something clear to everyone here, he begins. Racial profiling during traffic stops is real. It's been documented, it's unlawful, and it deeply damages the trust between police and the communities they serve. Ms. Richardson should never have to record every commute, collect data, or spend her time proving she deserves to drive to work without being targeted. But she did, and because of that we can't ignore it. A young black woman rises. Your Honor, I'm a college student. I get stopped all the time, but I don't have the kind of evidence Ms. Richardson collected. Does that mean nothing will change for people like me? Judge Caprio answers plainly. It means start documenting every stop. Note the date, time, location, officer's name, stated reason, and the result. Record video if you can. Ms. Richardson has shown us that evidence can silence denial. A white officer dressed in plain clothes stands up. Your Honor, may I say something? Are you here officially? Caprio asks. No, sir. I'm off duty, but I serve in Providence and I need to speak. What Sergeant Donovan did, if confirmed, is wrong. It goes against our training, our policies, and our oath. Most of us don't act this way, but those who do damage the reputation of every honest officer. Judge Caprio nods appreciatively. Officer, thank you. Most law enforcement professionals serve with integrity, but when some abuse their authority, the system must act. That's exactly what's happening today. As court adjourns, several people approach Vanessa. The older black man from earlier shakes her hand. Thank you for standing your ground, for gathering evidence, for refusing to back down. Her white coworker embraces her. I'm sorry I doubted you before. I should have believed you. Before she leaves, Judge Caprio calls her back. Ms. Richardson, one more thing. Your data, the spreadsheet, the videos, may I have copies? I want to include them in judicial training sessions to show judges what racial profiling looks like when proven. Of course, Your Honor. If it helps, you can use all of it. It will, he replies, because you've done what the system rarely manages to. You've made the unseen visible. 3 weeks later, the official report arrives. Sergeant Donovan's records reveal he stopped black drivers 5 times more often than white drivers in the same district. The department launches a full investigation. Officer Donovan is moved to desk duty while the review takes place. Since then, Vanessa hasn't been stopped again. Subscribe to Judge Stories for moments when proper documentation exposes discrimination. And when one woman's evidence challenges an entire system. Vanessa Richardson was pulled over 11 times in just 6 months, for nothing more than driving while black. She kept records of every encounter. Judge Caprio recognized the pattern, threw out all charges, and called for accountability. This is what happens when bravery meets proof, when undeniable patterns demand attention, and when one judge refuses to overlook what others choose to ignore. Share your thoughts below. Have you ever faced racial profiling? Has documenting it made a difference? Your story matters. You're not alone.